Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Talking Cryptocurrency podcast. I'm your host, Jason Rigden. On this episode of the show, we're talking to Zac Prince of BlockFi. They're helping folks get loans that are secured by cryptocurrency. It's a really interesting idea and a great interview. But first, I've got one quick message. Do you know what the most important thing in the world is? It's more important than family, love, and work. It's more important than money, God, and country. You probably already know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Twitter followers. The number of followers you have on Twitter directly correlates to your fundamental value as a human being. There really is nothing more important to me than the number of Twitter followers that I have. Please help me feel like I have value by following me on Twitter. The links to my profiles are in the show notes. Please follow me. Please help me find meaning in my life. Without the validation of strangers, I have no idea how to value myself. So please follow me on Twitter. My personal account is Mr. Rigden on Twitter, and the show is Talk Crypto Show on Twitter. The links are in the show notes. Please do your part to make me happy and give me a follow. Hello, and on this episode, I'm here with Zac Prince of BlockFi. How are you today?
I'm doing great, Jason. How are you?
Doing pretty good. So could you tell me a little bit about the problem you're trying to solve here?
Sure. So basically, we're bringing more debt and credit products into the crypto asset ecosystem. The first product that we started with, which has been live since January of this year, you can think of as like a home equity loan, except instead of home equity, it's crypto equity. So for individuals or businesses that own Bitcoin or Ether and don't want to sell it, but they'd like to be able to get some liquidity, they are able to post those assets as collateral and receive a loan in USD from BlockFi.
And can I use any kind of crypto for this, or is there a certain kind of like a wait list of crypto that you're willing to give a loan against?
Yeah, so there's not a wait list, but right now we support Bitcoin and Ether. We expect to expand to support an additional 2 crypto assets before the end of the year, most likely Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin.
And is there a range for how much the loans can be?
Yeah, so currently we're making loans between $2,000 on the low end up to $2 million on the high end.
And are interest rates on those loans based on the individual's credit history?
So the interest rates are not based on the individual's credit history. We have a few different factors that come into the price, which include loan size, where the borrower is based. But you can think of our interest rates as being on average about 12% per year. And the structure is interest-only payments throughout the life of the loan, and then a full repayment of principal at the end. So the monthly payments are 1% a month. So if you borrow $10,000, your monthly payment is $100.
And so what are some of the advantages of getting a loan against your crypto instead of just selling it?
Well, the primary advantage is that you keep the upside. So, if you use Bitcoin or Ether for a loan and the price goes up 50% or 200% or whatever amount, you still own that crypto. So you still have exposure to the asset, but you're able to get some liquidity in the interim. Some other advantages include the tax implications. So if you're someone who's held Bitcoin or Ether for a while and you have a capital gain embedded in that asset, by taking out a loan, you're not triggering a taxable event. Whereas if you sell it, you've realized that gain and you now have to pay taxes on it. Additionally, if you're using the proceeds of a loan from someone like BlockFi to make other investments, then the interest charged to you for that loan is deductible against other capital gains and investment income in the same year. So you're able to basically subtract your ordinary income tax rate or your capital gains tax rate from the interest that BlockFi is charging you to determine your after-tax cost of taking out the loan, which can be a lot lower than 12% if you live in a high-tax state like New York or California.
And is this active right now? Can I get a loan right now?
Yeah.
I mean, not that I'm asking.
Absolutely. So if you go to our website, you can read all about the product. You can play with a loan calculator to kind of understand the mechanics. And you can apply, and applying takes less than 2 minutes. You'll receive a decision back from us within minutes. And once you sign your loan docs and send the collateral to our secure storage address, we can fund in as fast as 30 minutes. So we've had some customers go end to end from application to funds being in their bank account in under an hour. And yes, you can do that today.
And is this available worldwide?
We're currently only operating in the US, but we have plans to expand internationally probably in the first half of next year, but potentially a little sooner. But right now we're operating in the US in 43 states.
And who maintains custody of these coins?
So right now we're custodying the assets with Gemini using their custody product. Gemini, if you're not familiar, is regulated as a trust company under the New York Department of Financial Services, and they custody billions of dollars worth of crypto primarily for institutions. So it's all of the crypto is kept in cold storage. And we create a unique deposit address that matches to each one of our customers. So you're always able to see how much crypto you've sent to us. And if you need to send more, that's an option that's always available.
And what happens if the price drops significantly?
So it depends on how significantly. But the way the structure of our loans works is, let's say you have $10,000 worth of Bitcoin. You're currently able to borrow up to 35% of that value initially. So you could borrow 3,500 USD secured by your 10,000 of Bitcoin. And then if the price of Bitcoin fell 50% from 10,000 down to 5,000, we would have a margin call. And the way the margin call works is our clients have 72 hours to either add more collateral, pay down some of the principal in USD, or take no action. And if they take no action, and at the end of the 72 hours, the price of Bitcoin has not recovered, then we would initiate a partial collateral sale. Not all of the collateral, but a partial collateral sale to rebalance their loan to value ratio back down to 50%.
So what would have been some of the challenges of solving this problem?
Some of the challenges, great question. I'd say one of the challenges was securing funding. So we were the first company to raise institutional funding, which we announced about a month ago, with a $50 million commitment from Galaxy to fund loans originated by BlockFi. But there was definitely an education process that we had to go through there, and a lot of work that went on primarily in the background in terms of setting up our compliance and risk management systems in a way that would be able to support institutional funding for the product. We have fintech and lending backgrounds, so some of the other stuff has required a lot of work, but I wouldn't necessarily call it challenging because we came in with eyes wide open. But there is, with any fintech product, there's a lot of work you need to do on the regulatory side, on the compliance side, certainly on the tech side, to be able to manage the risk effectively and create a really positive and fast customer experience. So I would say that we've handled all the potential challenges really, really well so far.
And how you spoke with the regulators, how do they react to using crypto as a way of securing these loans?
They've actually been, very receptive. The regulatory regimes that we're compliant with are three. So the first is state lending regulations, and in a lot of states we needed to apply for and receive a license to operate in that state, similar to money transmitter licenses that exchanges need. And I would say that our applications went a bit slower than maybe traditional lenders would expect, but that's just because we are, prescribing value to a unique type of collateral, and we needed to get some of the regulators up to speed with that. The other two regulatory bodies that we're compliant with are the Uniform Commercial Code and the Bank Secrecy Act / FinCEN regulations for KYC and AML. And the structures to be compliant with those are similar across industries. So you just have to put in the time and effort to create a strong program, and we haven't had any unique challenges there.
Now, what are some of your plans for the future?
Some of our plans for the future include aggressively growing our team. So we are about 12 people full time now. We'll probably double in size before the end of the year in terms of headcount. So we're constantly hiring great people to join our team. We are also looking to support more crypto assets, as we touched on earlier. So look for at least 2 additional crypto assets to be supported as collateral before the end of the year. We're looking to expand into international markets and cover borrowers from outside the U.S. And we're also looking to diversify our suite of products. Whereas right now we just have the loan product, we're considering things like lines of credit, credit cards, and also a tokenized security that would give crypto investors exposure to a fixed income type return, similar to what Galaxy is receiving with their investment.
Yeah, it's a great product. I hear a lot of people complaining about, they have so much money invested, but they really can't do anything with it because if you touch it, you want to hold it. So getting these loans is a great way of unlocking that value.
Yeah, and it's a very common tool that's used in traditional markets, primarily within wealth management groups, to support their clients diversifying into other assets or just being really smart in terms of optimization of their capital to minimize taxes and increase diversification across their investments.
Well, it's a really great product. Was there anything that I should have asked you that maybe I missed?
No, I can't think of anything. I think we covered a lot of really good stuff.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks, Jason. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Zac, for coming on the show. If you want to learn more about BlockFi, check out the show notes. I've got all the links right down there. You've been listening to the Talking Cryptocurrency podcast, and my name is Jason Rigden, and I have been your host. Thank you for listening to the show. If you liked it, would you please consider giving us a rating and a review on iTunes? I look forward to talking to you again soon. Have a great day.